Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Maych TV. I haven't done a chat video on here in ages, but I felt compelled to, because Manchester City have just lost 1-0 to Aston Villa to put the top four and the title challenge race, whatever you want to call it, on its head. Tonight, as I sit here recording, Arsenal sit top of the pile. Liverpool are in second. In third place, Aston Villa. And in fourth, Manchester City. What is happening? What is going on? Is this it? Is it finally happening? Are Man City finally having things not go their way? Is this the beginning of the end of the Pep Guardiola era? No, it's not. It's probably not, is it? But does that mean I will not enjoy this regardless? No, I'm going to enjoy it. We should enjoy it because Man City have been ridiculously dominant. Now they should be, because they've got 115 charges of financial irregularity and, standing in the way of having that proven or disproven, hanging over their heads. And at some point, if that gets all cleared up, then I'll stop talking about it, and we can say unequivocally Manchester City have been a dominant team based on their own merit, based on sporting merit. However, I think anyone with half a brain who's looked at Manchester City over the last few years will know that's nonsense and whatever. But look, let's kind of part that to one side for the moment. What they have been is ruthlessly dominant, boringly, annoyingly, frustratingly, heart-wrenching, hair-pullingly, just an absolute pain in the arse. They have been, they've put points tallies down that have never been seen before on a level of consistency that's never been seen before. And the only team that's come close to matching them in that period has been Liverpool. Even Arsenal, who had a good old goal last season, came nowhere near close. The only team that's done it has been Liverpool, and fallen foul of them twice by a point to lose out on a title. So when Man City aren't going great, I think it's absolutely splendid. And what's been really interesting about it, because as much as I'm seeing Gary Neville talking about complacency is creeping in now, and I think that works as a good narrative, because he can speak to that, because his side won a treble and they've won a treble, so that means his experience it's going to be exactly the same. It's not. It's absolute nonsense. But it's not a bad starting place. He's got as much insight into a potential as anyone has, because he's Gary Neville can say he's lived it. He's lived winning a treble and then what it's like to try and go again the next season. So kind of fair. I'm not sure it's as cut and dry as that, but it's a great narrative, and Gary Neville is very good at banging home drums and making people kind of try and believe narratives. Just watch all the clips that have gone viral from the overlap, where he's tried to do that over the last few years, and more often than not ends up being wrong. But regardless, the thing that's really interesting that's not going for Man City, the thing that's changed, is decisions are not going all their way. All of a sudden, there's things that they can complain about. Hang on a second, this isn't fair. Referees are getting things wrong, but they're not. It's not going in our favour. And it's like, oh God, Man City, my fucking heart breaks for you. Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare it must be to have referees making competent decisions and you not come out in a favourable position as a result of it. That must be really hard, Manchester City. I cannot possibly put myself in your shoes in that kind of situation. Can't. Cry me a river. But in addition to that, there's there's deflected goals. I mean, Leon Bailey's goal takes a wild deflection. Edison, brilliant goalkeeper, brilliant skill in the build-up to the goal. Takes a wild deflection, goes in. They lose. They deserve to lose. They got battered in that game. They deserve to lose other games in recent weeks. But this is the thing, and this is where the glimmer of hope kind of comes from, is because normally to win a league title you need skill, and you need a good manager and a good tactical setup, and you need hard workers, and you need a little bit of luck as well. So you need to have favourable luck with injuries, you need to have favourable luck with goals, timing of situations. Just there's a lot of contributing factors to winning a league title. And therefore, in the Man City era, there's like a reverse of, in order for them not to win the title, things actually have to go, things have to go against them as well. So Liverpool win the title, and Man City point to an injury to Aymeric Laporte. He was their main centre-half. Funny it is to say now that he was seen as the one guy who was the thing holding their team together, and then that was the reason why they didn't win the title, was because of Laporte. But cool, that's the thing that it's an unlucky thing that goes against them. Now, they're so good and so dominant, and they've had so many things go their way. They've got a perfectly fertile ground in which to grow. So as much as they don't have the deepest squad, which is their fault, by the way, and I think a little bit of like trying to keep up appearances that they are trying, oh, we're fighting a little battle here. This is real. This is real sport. Look at us. We struggle too, don't we? Look, if you cut us, do we not bleed? Again, nonsense. But they need things to go against them, and things are finally starting to go against them in order for them to kind of come down into a realm where other teams can get at them. And right now, they are having things go against them, and look at the form that they're in. It's mad. The 3 draws and a defeat in the league is basically unheard of. Man City have lost 3 games of football this season. They've drawn 3 and lost 3, and it's December. Like, they can go a season with 1 defeat. You know, and that's what the Man City we've been fighting against at times over the years. So, yeah, is it done and dusted? Are they like over? Like, no, obviously not. It's Man City, and you'd be stupid to think that or believe that or let that affect your mood and therefore set yourself up for further heartbreaking disappointment down the line. I remain as agnostic as I possibly can be in that. I'll enjoy the highs and moments, you know, as and when they come, of course, because that's life, because you can get hit by a bus tomorrow and not see the final outcome, so you may as well enjoy anything that comes your way that's remotely positive or positive to you. They'll be back, I'm certain of it, but yeah, if Man City are going to crumble and they're not going to be a dominant force, then this is what it's going to look like. This is what happens when teams don't get to the top. All of a sudden, they have injuries and they have suspensions at the wrong time, and mad goals go against them. And referees, I mean, Simon Hooper calling back a ball that, you know, should have gone through to Jack Grealish when he'd already signalled for play on at the weekend. Like, again, they could have gone on and won that. Like, again, these are fine margins by which titles have been decided in recent years. And just for me, as a Liverpool fan who's been on the receiving end of City seemingly having everything go their way, you know, at Liverpool having, you know, a millimetre ball not crossing the line at the Etihad, you've got Rodri handballs in the mix, you've got, and look, even moments of pure luck and skill, you know, Vincent Kompany rattling one in off a crossbar. That's not a tried and tested go-to method of winning football games. That is where your element of luck. Yes, it's skill, but if it was a truly like call upon thing, it's not a quiver in your, you know, an arrow in your quiver. You know, go right, we're going to win this game now with the Vincent Kompany screaming. No, it just comes across. It's a bolt from the blue. It's a 1 in a million kind of moment. And oh yeah, all of a sudden they are kind of going against them. We'll need a lot more of those as the season progresses for that to continue to be the case. But the most important thing is they look fallible. Manchester City look beatable. They look like a team that can't conquer all before them. Now, they have had slow starts to seasons before and have gone on and strode on to titles. However, they have sometimes been predicated around other teams then not having it. So Arsenal should have capitalised last season and weren't able to because of their own deficiencies. The season after Liverpool win the league, injuries absolutely strike Liverpool down. You know, they were going really well at the start of the season. A mad loss to Villa, notwithstanding, you know, they beat Tottenham, they go top of the league at Christmas, and then all the injuries bite and they continue to get worse, and Liverpool's season falls off a cliff, and they recover it in time to finish third, but nowhere near in time to mount a title challenge. So yeah, it's not just about City being worse and City having bad luck and City having referees go against them. Things still need to go right for Liverpool, and things still need to go right for Arsenal if they are to get themselves across the line. And it is very early doors. Let me remind you, it is December. But it bodes well. It does. And I'm going to enjoy it while I can. No reason not to, because we should all expect Man City to come back and come back strong. There's no reason why they wouldn't just go and buy in the January transfer window if they want. Kevin De Bruyne will be back at some point. Erling Haaland is a freak who scores 1 million goals. Julian Alvarez is class. Phil Foden, really good. They're chock full of brilliant players. A lot of best-in-class footballers in there. Bernardo Silva, go through Edison, second best in class. But yeah, if I was going to write how a team comes undone, it's got a lot of these elements to it, and they feel familiar because these kind of things have happened to Liverpool as well. This is a team, you know, when Rodri goes out of that team, they're not the same. And there is a tipping point in every squad where you remove enough of the really, really good players and the rest of the players good enough to be members of your squad, good enough to be in certain football games, but not the core of your side. And that leads to an overall weakening. The crappening, I've done a video on this before, check it out. Hopefully this is that. But losing Gundogan, big mistake, lots of goals, lots of experience, lots of late dramatic match-winning experience in there. Same with Riyad Mahrez, and no Kevin De Bruyne, and no Rodri in a team. And look, some of these they've chosen to do, some of them are circumstantial, but that's a lot of genuinely brilliant match winners who've been there and done it and have the ability to drag the team out of the fire, gone and not in that side. So should we be too surprised when they're not getting things over the line? Maybe not, but because it's City, we still are. Anyway, yeah. Are they crumbling? Is this the end? Probably not. Don't let it get into your head too much. But yeah, I'm going to smile. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to talk about it. And yeah, I've spent too much time in the last 5 years myopically looking at, once I'm done with Liverpool, looking at Manchester City and having them upset and disappoint me. Now, it would be really annoying if Arsenal just picked up that baton now. But almost, I don't care if it's Arsenal. If Liverpool end up in a title challenge, a title fight with Arsenal, that is absolutely fair because, yes, they're two huge clubs with huge bankrolls, relatively speaking, behind them. But at least they're doing it in a legitimate way. They're doing it within it appears, within the confines of the rules of the sport. So that's two football teams probably going head to head. That has shades of Arsenal and Man United in years gone past. Or, that's, Liverpool and countless other teams in the 80s, Everton and what have you. I can live with that. As long as Liverpool keep going well, we can kind of park it. What do you think on the Man City thing? It's wild, isn't it? I genuinely turned the league table on after that game, wanting to see what the gap was between Arsenal, Liverpool to City, and saw Villa in third. Can Villa keep up the pace? Because they're doing it in Europe as well. They're managing 2 games a week, same as everyone else. Unai Emery, what a manager he's been, and they've got some fabulous players doing some fabulous things. They've got an incredible winning record at home, which is central to what you do. Yeah, really impressed with Villa so far. But yeah, there's some really good teams in this team, and they're really taking points, and no one's unbeatable. So yeah, it doesn't feel like a foregone conclusion. And is this, most importantly, wouldn't this just be nice if this was like foreshadowing of City finally getting done for all the improprieties of the past? We can dream, can't we? Yeah, I certainly will. Right, thanks. Drop a like on the video. Let me know your thoughts on anything that I've discussed in the comments section underneath. Yeah, and if you want more Liverpool content, always recommend going to redmanplus.com. Podcast videos, documentaries, and a hell of a lot more besides. And if you want to buy your own version of this incredible Liverpool Christmas jumper, go to redmanmerch.com. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you so much. Up the Reds and, down the City.